Hello. This is the second day of No Bra Monday, but today's Tuesday. Frankly, every day is No Bra Day in my house, unless I have to go somewhere. So that being said, I am here to read a section from Book 2 of my Rebel Lords of London series, The Marquis Misstep. This is a dark romance with some really interesting highlights I hope to share over time. So I have my tea, and I have my trusty wine bottle. So let's get started, shall we? All right, The Marquis Misstep, Book 2, August 28th, unless I said that wrong earlier. Jenny snatched up the newspaper she'd set aside upon Lorelei's arrival and snapped it open. She pointed to the article in question. Look at this. Young girls are being kidnapped and sent out of the country, forced into marriages, some as young as 5 years old. She shuddered, her heart pounding painfully against her ribs. Good heavens, Jenny, they wouldn't dare take children of noble birth. What purpose would it serve? How should I know? But the younger the girls, the more likely and helpless. I can't imagine anyone getting Irene to kowtow without a fight. They'd have to kill... Her stomach roiled. A girl of Irene's age of 8 would be much more difficult to convince to conform. But girls of noble birth, that is much too risky, but not impossible. Cecilia's 5 Lorelei. The thought of something happening to either one of my girls frightens me to the point of insomnia. I can hardly bear letting them out of my sight. Her voice shook with emotion, fear, black, chilling terror. Lorelei shifted to the settee beside her, wrapping an arm about her shoulders. Oh, Jenny, nothing will happen to Irene and Cecilia. Forgive me but saying so, but Maudsley is dead. You and the girls are quite safe now. Jenny knew she was right, but every day she woke breathing hard, pulse hammering, plagued with nightmares of finding Irene or Cecilia missing from their snug beds. I can hardly make them sleep in their own chamber. I know my fears are irrational, but... She choked back the sentiment. It could happen. Maudsley had been entrenched in something horrendous. Even dead, I can't help worrying his deeds will land on our heads. I'm convinced that if I learned what those deeds were, I would be able to sleep better. It's the not knowing that cripples me. This is my family. An understatement. She was scared witless. She strived to collect herself. I've been thinking. She took a leveling breath and rushed on. If I can't learn of my late husband's evil doings, I've come to the realization I must find a way to teach Cecilia and Irene to protect themselves. There, she'd said it aloud. So, as I said, this is a dark romance. There's some light moments. This book is special to me. I think it goes back to something kind of personal. My mother has been married 6 times. Number 3 adopted my sisters and I, and he had 2 boys. He was number 3. And my mom adopted the 2 boys. So even though all the dads are gone, I still have 2 brothers I cherish greatly, and I have 2 sisters. I'm the oldest of 5. But the interesting thing is when I was writing this book, and I was talking with my sister next in age to me, and I was reading a scene aloud to her toward the end of the book, I started crying, just crying, sobbing, not little dabs that you would take a little lace hanky to and dab away. It wasn't like that. These were all out sobs, and I couldn't stop crying. And I just think it just resonated with this hero and how he ends up cherishing this very family. So I hope that you enjoy this book and let me know what you think and if it resonates with you in some way. Happy reading. I love Lucy.